here there are a lot of people who are eager to natural farming. So I myself as a natural farmer, actually I grow lots of herbs in probably 3 acres. So I have to persuade her to visit Philo. It's a good place to tour. So we are here. Well, anyway, I really appreciate to have this kind of opportunity to talk about, to discuss, or to study about the natural farming. Well, I understand that Mr. Cho has a good class, a lecture, twice or 3 times or something like that. It's very good, but a lot of people want to know why. You have any scientific evidence? Well, unfortunately, Mr. Joe didn't have that kind of answer at this moment, but he has the results. Okay, he knows how to do that, but he doesn't know why. What happened? IMO is what happened in soil. I'm a scientist, so that's why I came here. That's why I'm interested in this kind of a natural farming. Okay. I'm not sure how to pronounce the exactly. Chechikuchi? Is there any Japanese here? Chechikuchi? It's the name of a French restaurant in Tokyo. Okay. They sell the apple soup. That's apple soup. Well, there is a special, not the special, just the dinner, including this apple soup, cost about $200. Okay? It cost about $200. But you have to wait 1 year to make a reservation to have an apple soup. It's interesting, right? What makes so special on this kind of apple soup? Why they are waiting for 1 year to have this apple soup? That apple is grown by Natural Farm. It is one of the famous apple. They named it as miracles of apple. It looked like just an ordinary apple, okay? Well, Mr. Kimura Akinori is the farmer. He has a pretty big orchard, apple farm. But he stopped using a pesticide. Why? Because his wife is very allergic to the pesticide. She got very serious health problems. So for her wife, he decided to quit, stop using the pesticide. So imagine what happened the next year. His orchard was covered with all kinds of insects, bugs, and mold. It's a devastating. But in 8 years, but he decided to do a natural farming. But as you can see, as you can imagine, he was actually the bankruptcy in 3rd year. He decided to kill himself, suicide. He grabbed a piece of rope and from the mountain and hanged himself. So he threw the branch of the tree. And under the moonlight, he saw some apple on the branch. And he think, why that apple in the mountain doesn't require any kind of chemical fertilizer, no pesticide. Why that apple is so delicious? So he came down his farm. He decided to the natural farm. exactly in the natural fact. But in 8 years, only 7 apple blossoms. In the same year, in fall, he got only 2 small apples. Only 2 small. But next spring, in 9th year, entire apple farm was covered with white apple blossom. It took 9 years. It took 9 years. Actually, the apple tree actually got a victory over the insect and they fight against it. But the miracles of apple was named by the one of chef in the restaurant. He heard about this kind of apple, so he bought a box of apple, and he used to make apple soup. And half of the apple he put in the refrigerator, and he had forgotten for 2 years. He had forgotten for 2 years now, okay? 2 years later, he opened the refrigerator. The apple was without decay, or without any general browning, just shrinking. That's why he named this apple is an apple, the miracle apple. So he told his friend, who was working in the TV and the newspaper. So that's why this apple is so famous at this moment. So you guys, if you want to have the apple, how many years do you have to wait? At least 1 year. It cost $200. Well, I really say this is a victory of the natural farmers. One of the good examples. Okay? Well, in our body, bone, such as a solid, the chemical composition of our bone is exactly the same as the chemical composition of soil. In the fluid in our body, chemical composition of our body fluid is exactly the same as seawater. So somehow, you have to take the soil and the water to maintain our body. You have to somehow take some nutrient from the soil and water. That is the law of nature. So how are you going to take the nutrients from soil? Morning, you have a dish of the soil and water. Lunch, soil sandwich, soil soup, whatever it is, name it. Dinner, again soil. So that actually create a plant to do that kind of job for us. Plant has a root, right? They absorb all kinds of nutrients from the soil with water. And then they store all the nutrients in the foot, leaf, stem. That is what the plant exists for us. That's the way we get the nutrient from soil and water to maintain our body. That is our food chain for our body. That is a law of nature. Okay? In the soil, there is about 72 elements. In seawater, there are more than 200, I rather say, nutrients are included in soil and water. In recent times, many people are interested in some nutrients, such as major nutrients, for example, calcium and magnesium. Yeah, I understand that is very important element. But you have to take all of them, not the 2 or 3 major elements. Okay? You have to take all of them, major, minor, trace, even ultra trace, such as silica, such as zinc, such as chromium. You have to take all of them to maintain our body in good shape, in good health. But last 50 or 60 years, lots of researchers are focused on the major element. Yeah, I understand the major element is very important, right? Iron, calcium, magnesium, very important. But you have to understand we need more than 200 elements to keep our body in good shape, in good health. We are missing something now. We're missing something now. As a Christian, Genesis chapter 1:29, they will be used for food. They will be used for food. Nowadays, it has been changed. Food to source for earning the money. Plant has been changed from source of food to what? Source of earning the lots of money easily. Very easily. That has been changed. Well, in 1988, U.S. Surgeon General declared our major health problems are no longer infectious diseases or diseases associated with malnutrition, but dietary excesses and imbalance. You have to focus on the imbalance, the word imbalance. Something's missing. Something's are excess. That is happened to our body. Something's happened in plants at this moment. Exactly the same phenomena is happening in human being as well as a plant. Imbalance. Balance is very important, right? I understand you had a dinner. At that party, we had a Subway sandwich. Very light. It was delicious. But when you have a food, you're gonna have some energy from the food, right? At the same time, there's some oxidative wastage remain in our body. So food is for living as well as for dying. Food has two functions at the same time. So you have to keep the balance for living and dying from the food. As long as this food is in balance, self-immune system is strong enough, then you're going to live at least 120 years. Okay? If you don't live 120 years, that means what? Somehow you are imbalanced. Okay? Like I said, that is a law of nature. Imbalanced. Well, I would say that I would like to compare to the modern food and traditional food. Vitamins and minerals and fiber contents of fatty acids are deficient compared to the traditional food. Well, you know this word, an apple a day keeps a doctor away. Apple is a very nutritious thing. But if you analyze the apple in 1914 to 1992, most of the minerals are decreasing. Especially the iron, 96% of iron is decreasing since from 1914 to 1992. If you want to take the same amount of iron from the apple, you have to take the 40 apples compared to one apple in 1914. Apple has been changed. Apple has been changed. If you want to take the same amount of iron, then you have to take the 40 apples. It's impossible, right? What happened? Is this for apple only? No, it is not apple only. According to the USDA data reported in 1997, all of them are decreased. What happened? Is there something wrong in apples? Is there something wrong in fruits and vegetables? No. Soil has been changed. You know, soil. Soil has been changed. Because of industrial waste, there are lots of, the soil has been contaminated. Also, NPK chemical fertilizer. Well, you know the fertilizer has been used for only what, 60 years, 50 years, something like that? As long as you apply you use NPK fertilizer, the growth rate is increased. Size is bigger. More productivity to get more money, right? But they don't care about the quality of farm produces. They only focused on the quantity of the farm produces. They don't care about the quality, how good it is, how poor it is. They don't care. Even they don't know. They don't want to analyze the quality of farm produces. Well, if you use lots of nitrogen, there's a depletion of iron. Also, you know the nitrogen-rich vegetable looks good. Leafy vegetables is attractive. It's easy to sell. But you know, nitrogen-rich, if you take too much nitrogen-rich food, nitrogen vegetables, too much nitrogen, the rich food is carcinogen. Like a person. Somehow, also, the potassium is a potassium chloride. If you use a lot of potassium chloride, then magnesium, iron, calcium, and selenium are in insoluble chemical form is in soil. If you apply the KCl, then magnesium, insoluble magnesium hydroxide is converted to the magnesium chloride, which is soluble to water. So if it rains, all magnesium, calcium, selenium is going to wash away by the rain. That's why apple has a calcium, the amount of calcium is decreased, because soil has been changed. So there are mineral deficiencies in apple or in plant that's affect the immune system of plants. So They are more prone to the mold, fungus, insect. Then pesticide, insecticide. They have to use, right? Those pesticides only has been used before since World War II, right? After World War II, right? Before that, there's no pesticide. It's been only for use for only 50 years. We are talking about only for 50 years history here. But if you use a pesticide or fungicide or insecticide, they penetrate all soil microorganisms, including the natural enemy, good guy and the bad guy, all together. So far, the soil, the power or capability of the soil has been maintained by the control and balance. But whenever they use a pesticide, the pesticide kills everything in soil. Okay, here's some plant. Also, there is a wheat, which you think that is very useless, right? No. Wheat has its own function to soil. Why? They usually has a deeper roots. Deeper roots supply or air to the deep soil. That's their function. Also, fallen leaves and the branches, that is just a mineral recycling system. Simply. Mineral recycling system. Also, human by eating own plants and human waste and the well, am I right? Is it right word? Manure? Manure is better than what? I don't know which one is it. Manure is better. Yes, microbe actually decompose all waste, human waste or animal waste. Decompose. What does it mean decompose? They break the waste into small particulates, which can pass through the membrane of roots. See what I'm saying? Microbe actually do the what? What kind of job? They break the all waste into the smallest particle, which can pass through the membrane of the roots of the plant. And fourth one, they are biological laboratory. In this way, this plant has a balanced nutrition. That's we call what we call it's a natural recycling system. But it's been broken at this point, somehow, some degree. It's been broken. Okay, I like apple. Apple, when you eat apple, apple is food source of to provide the calcium as a form of a calcium citrate. Calcium citrate is a water soluble. We call it an electrolyte. Electrolyte means that it is soluble in water. But how about in soil? How about soil? Calcium exists as a form of calcium hydroxide, calcium carbonate, which is totally insoluble in water. magnesium hydroxide, insoluble, water insoluble. And how come this water insoluble calcium and magnesium is converted to the soluble calcium? What's the magic? The answer is what? The microbes. Microbes does that function. Okay? Microbes. It's very simple. Also, microbes keep the soil temperature constant. But if you use a lot of chemical fertilizer, pesticide, or industrial waste, if there's not enough microbes in soil, that means what? You're going to have a calcium deficient apple. That's simple. That's why the apple in 1914 is better than present apple. It's simple. Microbe doesn't work very well somehow, someday. Well, recently, organic compost are popular. But you have to understand the organic composter. One is rich nitrogen and phosphorus are rich. If you use too much organic composter for a long time, and nitrogen, especially phosphorus, going to accumulate in soil, react with the calcium. Calcium phosphorus compound is very, very stable to make the part chemical. So if you examine, test the soil, there is a calcium. Soil analysis, you get the calcium in the result, right? But on apple, calcium is deficient because calcium is strongly chemically binded to the phosphorus. Because the calcium is no longer microbe couldn't break down with this calcium and phosphorus chemical bond. So even though there is calcium in soil, you still get the calcium deficient apple. Okay, here's plants. Here are roots. Also, there are root hair. The diameter is about 20 to 30 microns. If you apply the IMO or the micro, I rather say mycorrhiza, such as IMO, the diameter is about 1 to 2 microns. This IMO, the mycorrhiza, cover the all over the roots and the root hair. With and without, what's the difference? With the IMO, the surface area to contact to the soil is dramatically decreased, right? Because of surface area. So, if you apply this, the IMO or the IMOs or such as a mycorrhiza, the surface area to contact the nutrients of the soil is increased dramatically. They can hold lots of nutrients, or they can hold lots of small particulate, as many as possible. In heavy rain, especially in volcanic soil, in heavy rain, if there are some floating particulates or floating nutrients, the heavy rain, in heavy rain, the rain is going to be washed away all the nutrients particulates. But if there are lots of mycorrhiza, they can hold all the nutrient or floating microparticles. That's why you're going to have a stronger branch connection and a deeper root. That's why you have less hurricane damage, because of a more strong with the branch connections and deeper root. So the IMO has a lot of function, but one of the most important function is it can hold actually lots of water and microparticulates around the mycorrhiza. This is one of the explanations for the less hurricane damage for the natural farm producers. In addition, you can extract the advantage of the earthworm. You know that, right? Well, one testing, if there is about 56,000 earthworms in 1 acre, they will produce about 100 tons of the worm testing per year. A lot of them. They actually changed the composition of soil by themselves. Well, since 1900, mass production, making the most profit at the lowest cost. That's the principle of economical efficiency. That's it, right? Also, they want to make it all kinds of plants delicious looking and attractive eye-catching. But they are very focused on fun, not quality. But now it's time to take a look at the quality. A lot of people want to have a really good fruits and vegetables. If there is if they are convinced to that is good, they are willing to pay the $200 for the apple soup, right? And waiting for 1 year. No problem. But they are suspicious. They are not believing what they are eating. Since 1900, in my opinion, most of them are destroying the natural recycling system. Most of them. Most of the, I rather say the advanced agricultural technology are focused on the quantity instead of quality. They are actually destroying the natural recycling system slowly. Well, since the natural recycling system is destroyed, in my opinion, present firm produces all of them, I think they are imbalanced in terms of 200 nutrients. That's my opinion. Especially the Hawaii volcanic soil, there's an advantage. Good point. What is good point? Volcanic soil is a mineral rich, very rich soil. But they are all minerals are insoluble. You have to remember, right? Since this is volcanic soil, there's less organic matter. Okay, less diversity of soil organisms. But you have a rich mineral soil, which is insoluble. So how you can change the insoluble to soluble microbes, especially in the volcanic soil, if you use a microbe, you can see the dramatic change. You can see the dramatic difference. Well, in my opinion, so far, soil has been published so far. Acidification, imbalance, soil heartburn, kill microbes, even with the natural enemies. I heard about the soil fumigation. They actually correct controlling the balance system in soil microorganisms. So somehow you have to revive the power of the soil. That's what the natural farmers have to do. That's the only thing. That is the only thing you have to do. You have to revive soil. Well, that's the only way, in my opinion. That is the only way. How are you going to revive the soil? Natural farming is the only way to revive the soil. Well, natural farming. First, we want to use microbes, right? We want to use natural materials. Natural materials. I rather say the cost for the farm material, I recommend less than $200 per acre for farm material. Why? You're not going to buy something from the company. You're going to make your own natural farm material by yourself from natural resources. So it costs less than $200 per acre. All the nutrients, also pesticide, I would like to use a poisonous plant, toxic plant in Hawaii. What's the what?
I can't read the poisonous plants. It's too long.
Okay, that's why I clicked it. Well, I found out that this document in Internet, common poisonous plants of Hawaii. There are so many poisonous plants which you can use as a natural pesticide, insecticide, herbicide. You can make your own natural pesticide. But what's this picture? Well, I heard about the why in here some farmers are using the neem oil, right? Neem oil. That's the good example of the natural pesticide, neem oil. You can start with neem. But you have to do some research, right? Which poisonous plant is best for which insect, which well, or how to make natural pesticide, or what combinations of poisonous plants are good. You have to spend some time. Well, in Korea, I'm doing something to develop all kinds of natural pesticides in my lab. But I'm not sure about it. Why? Because I don't know about the poisonous plants in Hawaii. So you have to spend some time to find out.
how to make the natural the pesticide from the poison plant. You're going to ferment it for some period of time. For example, 6 months, 1 year, or even 2 years. It's very easy. I mean, you need only water, seawater, vinegar, and IMO, or humus. That's it. You don't need any expensive materials here, right? It's very cheap. Like I said, more research and collaboration is required. Today, a lot of people are demanding specific scientific evidences. So now we have to provide it to them. It's just a start, not the end. Well, I understand that here you are very eager about the natural farm. Also, you had a Master Joe's lecture. You are very excited about it, but that's not the end. Okay? This is just a start. I think you can change the why. Also, I think that you can change the why as well as the United States, or even all over the world. I think the natural farming is the only way to revive the soil. Revive the soil. That is the only way. I summarize what's the difference among the traditional, conventional farming and organic farming, natural farming. Okay, by the definition, organic farming, they don't use chemical fertilizer and pesticides. That's it. That's the definition of organic farming, right? But now we are worried about the organic farm produces because of what? E. coli, all the bacteria. In traditional farming or conventional farming, they are using a pesticide to kill all the E. coli. They don't worry about the E. coli. They don't worry about the bacteria. They don't worry about the microorganisms. But organic farming, they are worried about the E. coli. Why? They are using organic compost, which is the manure compost. There are so many dangerous points in organic farm produces. They are using organic compost. Traditional farming, they don't use organic compost. While in natural farming, I rather say you better use a little amount, small amount. Well, farm material is expensive, most expensive. I would say natural farming is the least expensive. But because of if the oil prices goes up in near future, I don't know what's going to happen here. I don't know what's going to happen. But here, doesn't matter. Right? All the farm material resources are from what? Just your field. Quality, I risk the best in terms of what? Balance. In terms of balance. This is the only way to produce the balanced farm produces. Balanced fruits, balanced vegetables. In my opinion, the basic technology for this conventional farming is based on farmer-oriented. Organic farming is also farmer-oriented. I rather say natural farming is a soil-oriented farming. Soil can do everything. They grow the plants, not the farmer, not by farmer. Farmer only what? Take care of the soil, that's it. Actually, soil grows the plants. I rather say the natural farming is a soil-oriented. Imbalance. Imbalance. Well, tonight I talk about the imbalance many times. Our food, present time, most of them are imbalanced. Somehow, someday. As a result, our body is also imbalanced. That's the reason why there are so many chronic diseases and critical, such as cancer, are increasing. Even though they spend a lot of money to develop the new medicines. However, it's increasing. The number of chronic diseases, the number of critical diseases, cancers are what? Increasing. Why? Because of imbalanced food we are taking. Our body is imbalanced means what? Self-immune system is pretty low. It's very low. Once our self-immune system in our body is low, all kinds of diseases. So, in order to improve our body health, we have to take what? Balanced food, which can be only produced by natural farm. That's the only way. I don't think any kind of medicine is going to cure all our human beings' diseases. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Our self-immune system will kill all kind of diseases. How to do that? Natural way. I recommend what? Natural way to produce, natural way to preserve, natural way to cook, natural way to eat, natural way to live. Then those words imbalanced. We are in imbalance at this moment, right? But if we obey the law of nature, as a Christian, if we obey God, imbalanced, the word imbalanced changed to what? I am balanced. Instead of imbalanced. Okay? If we obey the law of nature, as a Christian, if we obey God, imbalanced, no longer there's an imbalance. I am what? Balanced. I am balanced. Like I said again, natural farming is the only way. Only way. Is it optional? Is it? No. It is not optional. It is a mandatory. We have to, no matter what. We have to. I think you are here in this room, you are the pioneer in Hawaii as well as in States, United States. You are the pioneers. I think you can do it. I think. But like I said, this is not the end, right? This is just the start. You can change the word. You can change the all definitions of farming. Well, I'll give just a short talk about how to improve your health, okay? Not the plants. I would like to give an ABCD for your health. What's the A? A stands for the animal protein. A stands for the animal protein. Animal protein means meat, dairy products, and fishes are classified as animal protein. Somehow, you have to reduce the amount of animal protein you have taken every day. How much? Less than 15%. Okay, what is that? Why? Why do I have to decrease the amount of animal protein less than 15%? Okay, here's one. We have a 4 front teeth, 8 eye teeth, top teeth, 20 molar teeth, back teeth. 8 out of 32 is a 12.5%. Well, what a coincidence. Is that all? No. Well, according to the WHO, World Health Organization, they recommend the amount of carbohydrate, protein, fat, according to mass research. As a result, they recommend 10 to 15% is energy provided protein. So you have to reduce the amount of animal protein you have taken every day, less than 15% of your total amount of your meal. Also, this has been proven by Dr. Cornell, Dr. Campbell in Cornell University. He has studied for 30 years between about the relationship between the cancer and the animal protein. If they have a 5% of animal protein meal diet and 20% fat meal, 100% of the 100% cancer was the result of 20% of animal diet, protein diet. They found out, but 5%, 0%. What is B? B stands for the balanced food by natural farming. We have to eat. Okay, first, we're eating a lot of refined and concentrated food. But you better take the whole food, right? For example, just bleach the flour, you better take the what? Whole flour, whole wheat. You better take the whole food instead of refined or concentrated. Also, you better take the wild food instead of soft. If we have a choice to which bread you want to take what? Wild bread instead of soft one. Soft one has lots of bad ingredients. Fast, you better take the slow. That's for the. This is the only way you can get the balanced food. You have to take balanced food. Five a day. That is the campaign by the American Cancer Society. If you eat 5 colors a day, then you want to get the cancer. 5 colors of food, 5 colors of vegetable per day. You want to keep your head. Where's the C? You better chew as many as possible. Why? Then you have to obey the law of nature. You know? Okay, let's take a look at our body. You have to chew 30 times. That's the only way to provide enough digestive fluid to digest for what? For carbohydrate and fat. If you not chew many times, you are not the digestive fluid for the carbohydrate and fat is not enough. Then what happens? carbohydrate is passed through the belly, only takes 10 seconds, and stays for the stomach for 2 hours. There's no digestive fluid in stomach. They're only mechanical. Only the digestive fluid is to digest the protein. And 2 hours. After that, this carbohydrate, if the carbohydrate is not fully digested, then raw carbohydrate is in the small intestine. They're going to ferment it in the small intestine, not the digestive, not the absorbed in small intestine. It's a fermented to give bad gases. So I rather say if that's terrible, then somehow you have some problems in digestive system in your body. Okay? So you have to change. You have to go to the toilet bathroom once a day. If it takes more than 10 minutes, you have a problem. Okay? You have to change your digestion system. So first, you have to chew many times. Why? That's the only way to get enough digestive fluid for carbohydrate. Okay? First, eat. Eat for the drinking water enough. How much? You have to drink a half ounce per pound of your body weight. For example, if your weight for 160 pounds, you better have 80 ounces per day. But don't drink too much water at once. You have to divide 6 and 8 times per day. So 30 minutes before the meal and 2 hours after the meal. 6 and 8 times per day. Well, if you feel thirsty on your mouth, it's late. So you need water before you feel thirsty. How you can check you have enough water in your body? You have to take a look at the color of your urine. It's gotta be bright yellow. Otherwise, if the color is a very dark yellow or amber color or have some strong odor, that means you need water. Okay? Check your color of your urine every time. It's gotta be a bright yellow. Well, if you drink water per day, maybe you need more fruits and vegetables to provide some vitamins and salt. You better take some salt if you are in a low salt diet. Well, A is animal protein. B stands for the balanced food. C stands for the chew many times. D stands for the drink water enough. You have to remember A, B, C, D for your health. Okay? Well, we are here, as a natural farmer. I understand that you are very interested in natural farming, right? But in my opinion, we have to somehow set up this natural farming system to give a better world, better path to our son and our grandson, right? I think we're here to provide them, but let them live happy. Let them live happy. That's the duty of our natural farmers. That's what I strongly believe. Okay? So in Korea, actually, I have a